Back when I was still in primary school, at around the age of 14, my only source of brotherhood came from my male classmates. And that was only because, we were forced to talk to each other, because we were classmates after all. And the problem was, even if they were nice dudes, I just wasn't compatible with them at all. Even if we did play video games together like Minecraft, CSGO, for hours on end, even though it was a lot of fun to play with them and to just talk for hours on end, I never really truly got along with them. Because you see, when they were together, like probably 5 of us in a call, like me and 4 other of my classmates, they would all yell at each other like, "Why didn't you shoot him? He was right in front of you, you dumbass." And they were screaming all kinds of these random slurs that you can think about. Oh boy, those were the times. And the worst of all was, if someone made fun of me, suddenly the entire group chat turned on me. And back when I was around 12 years old, I was the type of guy who, if someone made fun of him, I would just run away. So I would just rage quit the Discord call, and then they would like message me to come back. Yeah, I was that type of guy. But the thing was, whenever I was talking to them, like one-on-one, between 4 eyes, basically when they weren't together, they were the nicest motherfuckers you can think about. However, the damage was already there. I still knew how they truly were when they were together. And so whenever I turned off the computer, not only I was unfulfilled because I was playing video games for the past like 5 hours, but also because I got like no social intelligence. Like half of the time that I was in the call, I was just silent, listening to them yapping for I don't know how long. And even if I did talk, they weren't taking me seriously, they were making fun of me even sometimes, and it was just a mess. Like the only reason I was talking to them was because of my lack of social pleasure that I never got from my surroundings. Because the first time when I got onto self-improvement, back in 2021, there was no one talk about that stuff with me. And granted, back in 2021, when I was watching self-improvement videos, back then I was watching videos on, girls and relationships and stuff like that. Back then I wasn't researching stuff like productiveness, focus, willpower, discipline. That came later. But the point is, even if there was something that interested me, no one was interested in it besides me in my local area. I just simply wasn't compatible with the people around me. But you see, when a man goes through enough pressure, the dust turns into a diamond. And so I eventually got back on self-improvement. And this time, I did not give a single fuck about anyone, about what they would think of me. I started to wake up at 5 a.m. I started to level up my discipline, my willpower. I started talking about the sugar industry and how it fucks up our mental health in our household. And I just didn't give a single flying fuck about if anyone from my local area found me weird or not normal. I started to take the gym more seriously. I started to read books in my free time. And for the first time in my life, I actually enjoyed reading them. And there was this one really interesting YouTube video that I found from a really well-known YouTuber called Hamza. And in that video, he talked about the race of men. And suddenly, it all made sense. All of it suddenly came together, and I realized the best way on how you can stay consistent in anything that you get into. Because the greatest way to stay consistent on self-improvement and anything that you want to get better in is to surround yourself with the same people who have the same interest as you. Well, right now you may be thinking, no shit, TR, of course I already knew that. But you would be surprised of how many guys on self-improvement forget about this elemental but easy to forget step. Because after Andrew Tate blew up, and everyone started saying Sigma male grindset and all of these other phrases, then everyone suddenly got the impression that self-improvement is basically just you log in yourself for 10 months and you suddenly become the best version of yourself. Like, you just don't even talk to anyone. You go on a complete magmal period which is so retarded in my opinion. One of the pillars of self-improvement is to actually improve your social intelligence and get better at talking to people. Self-improvement is not about just locking yourself in, like if you were in a solitary confinement inside of a prison. You're not trying to become a criminal. You're trying to become the best version of yourself so that you don't end up like one. Like, think about it. When you lock yourself in and you don't talk to a single soul about self-improvement, then it feels like you're in this solitary confinement. Like if you went to jail and then you did something horrible in the jail and suddenly you were sent to spend time alone without seeing a single soul. And that's the thing that many guys do on self-improvement. They just say stuff like, oh yeah, in 6 months I'm gonna have financial, location and time freedom. And then 7 months later, they are still wondering why are they fapping like 5 times per day. Still, even after all of this progress. And they still wonder, why do they still scroll on TikTok for 2 hours every single day? Well, it's because of the lack of social presence. They just simply have no friends with whom they can compete in. The reason why I was so consistent in playing Minecraft, CSGO and all of these other games was because of my classmates. It was the male competition that drove me forward. And so if you want to become successful in your self-improvement journey, you have to surround yourself with high quality men who will ruthlessly, viciously compete with you. Like you want to have the same competition that literally tunnel visions the entire process on which they are on to achieve their goals. Like they're literally doing nothing in their lives. Well, of course they still go outside and have fun sometimes, but they still work hard as fuck. They're waking up at 5 a.m. just to get one step ahead of you. They literally put a fire beneath your ass to get you going, because at the same time, they still want the same rewards as you. They still want your future wife. They still want that godly 10 out of 10 physique. They still want that financial, location and time freedom. But at the same time, they still want the best for you also. Because in the end, these will be the type of guys on whom you can even cry on their shoulders during your worst times. Like you could talk about anything with these guys, all the way from your most awkward memories that you had, all the way up to your biggest achievements in life. And they wouldn't feel envious, because in fact, they will use it as a motivation to work harder on themselves. Competition makes us grow, and not just competition with our brothers, how I like to call them, but also with the competition of the people who actually want to take you down. They might not admit this, but there will be people out there during your self-improvement journey, when you become an entrepreneur for example, who will want to take you down. They will say shit behind your back. They will make false allegations about you, and yet, when you're gonna be right there in front of them, they will be also nice to you. They will shake your hand, they will say how awesome you are, and yet when you turn their back on them, that's where the gossip will start. Competition and brotherhood are the greatest motivators in a man's life, because you see, every single man on this planet, whether it is me, you, or random Joe from Russia, let's say, we all desire the same 3 big desires, which are wealth, health, and relationships. Wealth is basically like achieving financial, location, and time freedom. We already know that. Health is basically getting our godly 10 out of 10 physiques and improving our mental health so that we are more productive, more willpowered, more disciplined. You get what I'm saying. And relationships, that's basically getting our dream wives and getting the respect from these high value brothers that will stick to us until we die. And so how do you attract these high value brothers to your life? Well, you get more value that you can give to the outside world. The way you get more value is to first improve your social intelligence. Basically, don't be like this solitary confinement psychopath, for example. Just go out, explore the outside world, deepen the relationships with the people that you already have, and practice cold approaching in your free time. But don't go outside with the goal of cold approaching. Just basically go outside with the goal of achieving something and then cold approaching people with it. Like basically, if you go to the gym, then you can ask that random dude over there who is just doing his bicep curls, "Oh, excuse me, what time does the gym close?" Like that, for example. And then you can have like a 2-minute quick conversation with him about when does the gym close, even though you already know when the gym closes, but you get what I'm saying. Never cold approach without a larger reason. Never cold approach with the goal of cold approaching, okay? Because that will make you look like a needy piece of shit. And no one would want to be friends with you that way. But you also get value by improving yourself in these 3 masteries of wealth, health, and relationships. Basically, just find your purpose in life, and then you can align your business model to it. And you can also start doing good habits like meditation, journaling, gratitude journaling, for example. You can improve your discipline, your willpower, your productiveness, to improve your mental health and your physical health also by exercising. And then as you get better and better in those skills, as you gain more and more knowledge, you can give advice to other people who are one step behind you. And slowly over time, as you start to radiate more and more value from yourself, then more and more people will be attracted to you. And these high value men of the 1%, these guys who are truly working on themselves, the peak when it comes to self-improvement, will slowly but surely notice you. And they would want to become friends with you in no time. And when they become friends with you, bro, you are set for the rest of your life. Because from that point onwards, you will have this burning flame behind your ass to get to work every single day and to not be a lazy piece of shit. Because if you just relapse for one day, that's suddenly one more day of progress that they have. They suddenly become 1 meter ahead of you in this race of men. And what is this race of men that I'm talking about? If you're watching this video 12 minutes in, then I have to congratulate you. You actually have way more potential than you think you do. And so now with the dumbasses of the 99.9999% of people gone, you know, they are now probably scrolling on TikTok or some other bullshit, we can finally get to the true value of the video. The biggest motivator to get ahead of your competition, and the best way to use your competition to stay even more consistent on your self-improvement journey. Because just imagine the race of men. Like imagine people who are 3 years younger than you and 3 years older than you and everything in between. Basically just being in this marathon-like race. Like, you know, the 4 out of 10s are all the way in the back. You know, those are the, like your classmates, for example, who scroll on YouTube Shorts and other of these high dopamine bullshit videos for 5 hours straight. They play video games for 1 hour every single day. They probably go out drinking during the weekends. Just these undisciplined piece of shit. Sorry. Then there are people who are 6 out of 10, basically like you. You've been watching self-improvement videos for the past few months now, and you've been doing great progress. You started to wake up at 5 a.m. You learn more about discipline, willpower, and all of these other great stuff. You started to even read books, which is amazing. And then there are the 9 out of 10 men that we want to become friends with. The high value men who actually are winning in life. They are building dream businesses which are bringing them financial, location, and time freedom. They are actually going out. They probably most likely already have their dream wives and are friends with other 9 out of 10 men who are around them. And they have godly 10 out of 10 physiques. And they have a really amazing mental health which keeps them going on their self-improvement journey every single day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that 9 out of 10 man is not me right now. I'm probably like a 7 out of 10 right now, if I was completely honest. But the thing is, sometimes these 9 out of 10 men, or probably even just men who are one step ahead of you in this race, turn around and they give you advice on how you can run faster. And these are people like me, for example, people like Hamza, Andrew Huberman, Andrew Tate, for example. You get what I'm saying. But you see, there are also dark, sinister men out there who want to give you false advice, which will actually sabotage you These are the guys who just tell you, oh, just spend 1 hour every single day playing video games, just to relax, while at the same time, they work on their businesses every single day. They haven't played a single video game in the past like 6 months. These are the same motherfuckers who say to you, oh, if it fits your macros, then just have that burger, it's completely fine, or that donut. These are the dark, sinister, these vicious types of men who don't want to see you succeed. So they turn around and they give you this shitty advice, which will make you run slower, so that they can enjoy the delayed gratification more from themselves. They don't want you to achieve your goals and dreams. They don't want you to get your dream wife. They don't want you to get your 10 out of 10 godly physique. They don't want to improve your mental health, because if you improve your mental health, you won't watch their content anymore. You know, like their videos on top 7 things to not watch on NoFap, for example. And it's like a 7-minute long video where they give you like no value. And all it does is just fry your dopamine receptors even more because it has a whore on the thumbnail, for example. You have to watch out for these kinds of men, because we absolutely fucking hate them. And that's how we don't do self-improvement. We do it the healthy way. We read books, we watch long-form educational videos on YouTube, so that it doesn't fry our dopamine receptors. We wake up at 5 AM, so that we become more disciplined and improve our willpower by resisting the instant gratification activities and actually getting to work as the day instantly starts. We become more productive every single day, so that we can surpass these motherfuckers, and so we can actually give the real, the true advice to the people who are at least one step behind us in this race of men. We actually want them to grow stronger, because we want our brotherhood to expand. We want our clan, our family, to become even more powerful than it is today. And so if you're watching this video 17 minutes in, which is just amazing, then please join our Discord clan in the description and become a part of the family. I think that you'll be a valuable asset to us. I hope you got some value out of this video. You can comment on which part of the video you liked the most. And as a last tip for making it this far, the way how you can tell if someone is giving you real advice or if he is just bullshitting you just to make some money out of you, like the garbage 9 out of 10 people, the degenerates who just want to sabotage you on this journey of becoming the greatest version of yourself. The best way to tell if they are bullshitting you or not is to ask yourself, is the content that I am consuming making me think for myself? Or does the content think for me? Am I just mindlessly consuming this? Or am I actually thinking about it? That's the 2 main questions you need to ask yourself. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.